afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is a Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, whenever you're listening to this. It is time for the High Risk Wrestling Recap. I am your host, Jeremy Pierce. Check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. And without further ado, let's get into the news. This was a sad week as there have been multiple WWE firings, so let's just get into them. First, we have Duke Hudson. As you know, he was a part of Chase U. He was quietly let go as he really wasn't seen as a main roster talent, especially also his age was considered, as well as he's 34, and he was part of WWE development for 6 years. Also released were AOP, Paul Ellering, Sonya Deville, whose contract will not be renewed in the following weeks, and Cedric Alexander. None of these are actually, they're all kind of shocking with the exception of probably Cedric. We had more releases as Giovanni Vinci was released, the Good Brothers were released, Isla Dawn, Blair Davenport, and Elektra Lopez. This sucks for all of them. A lot of these people were featured on various TV. AOP have kind of pretty much been on every single week with Karrion Kross in the Final Testament. Sonya Deville had a whole faction, and Elektra Lopez was part of Legado del Fantasma. Blair Davenport, she's the one who really doesn't. It kind of makes sense why she got released. She was one person that was called up, and they never had anything for her. I expect out of all the names here, Blair and Sonya to be snatched up immediately, and even Cedric Alexander to be snatched up immediately by some companies. It sucks. These things kind of happen, but like I've been saying for a while, the roster is big and people are going to be called up, especially from NXT. The FBI has identified at least 10 ring boys as part of the WWE abuse scandal. This will be getting worse for the WWE before it gets even better. It's going to be a tough situation. We'll have to see what goes on with that. AEW is considering new allies for Mercedes Moné, and there'll be none other than the Renegade Sisters. Yes, it makes sense to get Mercedes some allies, so she doesn't have to wrestle all the time, but also you can keep her strong. But you had Camille and you let Camille go, so what sense does that make? We'll see what happens if she has her own faction, because we really don't have any female factions in AEW. Samantha Irvin has set the record straight on her wrestling future, and she definitely wants to come back. She wants to be more than what WWE envisioned her to be. I can see something like her going to AEW and she wants to be a manager so she can just manage her husband Ricochet and be his personal ring announcer, which would get him even more. WWE superstars are frustrated with Def Rebel's interest themes. We have been running through the situation for the last couple of years where the themes are generic. They seem very, very just bland, and it's really apparent on the Royal Rumble when the themes come on and no one can recognize who is coming out. Yes, he has made a couple bangers, but most of the themes, wrestlers are not happy with. A former WWE star has signed with AEW, and he's now part of the Righteous. There will be none other than the artist formerly known as Elias. So as you know, he's going by Elijah on the independent scene. He's joined the Righteous. This is good. Maybe we can see the Righteous be reinvigorated just a little bit more. And AEW talent has been let go. There will be one, I believe, Boulder Bronson of Bear Country for battery and strangulation charges. This is a tough situation. It was Bear Boulder here. So Bear Boulder, this is going down in Orange County Sheriff's Office, and we will see what happens upon that. On the injury side of things, Apollo Crews has undergone surgery for a torn pec. This happened on SmackDown. Mina Shirakawa was sidelined due to injuries after suffering an injury at a Stardom event, and the main reason the Wyatts have not been on TV is because of an injured member. It'll be none other than Bray Wyatt. And I'm like, okay, he's injured, but you can still get the rest of the family on TV. But that is the news. That is the week in review. Coming up next, we'll be right back. All right, let's get into the week in review, ladies and gentlemen. Starting from Monday Night Raw. This is the Fallout show from the Royal Rumble. We open up with Jey Uso coming out, who is super majorly over. And he talks about winning, and he just straight up breaks down in tears. And this is good. This is that heart, that soul, why fans love him. Gunther comes out and threatens, and Jay's like, listen, I'm going to just put some violence on you, put some hurt on you. If you pick me up until WrestleMania, it's not going to be a good idea if you pick me. Penta defeated Ludwig Kaiser. After the match, Kaiser and Dunn attacked him, so we got Penta's first little feud. Liv Morgan stops Finn from blaming Dom for his losses, and Liv explains that, well, Dom got him a qualified match in Elimination Chamber, which will be against Seth Rollins, and Liv says she'll make everything right by winning hers. Charlotte Flair says she'll be going to all the shows before making her decision on who she'll face at WrestleMania. Rhea Ripley comes on, it's like, look, choose me, so I can beat you again, and we can end this once and for all. Sami Zayne hugs Jay and says, yo, listen, it's good. Sami also might have a problem with Karrion Kross, says Karrion's the one sprinkling the poison in everybody's ear. Io Sky slightly threatens Rhea Ripley. I'm like, yo, you might have to face me at some point. Liv and Raquel end up attacking Io after that. The New Day defeated the LWO thanks to an assist from Logan Paul. Logan Paul will be taking on Rey Mysterio next week in a qualifier match for the Elimination Chamber. Punk says he will win the Chamber. You know, he's upset that he didn't win the Royal Rumble, but he's going to find a way to get to WrestleMania. Liv Morgan defeated Io Sky in a qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber after Rhea reflexively punched Liv. Rhea came out to kind of back up Io, and it absolutely failed, and Io is not happy about that. The War Raiders will go to war with American Made. Chad Gable leaves, says he's leaving for a quest, and when he comes back, he wants to see his team with gold. Seth Rollins is out in the ring. He's happy that Punk lost. He's happy that Roman lost, and they didn't win the Royal Rumble, but he's also upset that he didn't win. Let's everybody know that Roman is hurt. Not Roman, you know what I mean. Roman is hurt, and that Seth himself will go to the chamber to get the Mania. He calls out Sami Zayn, hypes him up for his qualifying match against CM Punk, and begs with him, pleads with him, yo, beat CM Punk. Because CM Punk said you're not on his level, and Sami, you're better than Punk. Well, Punk beat Sami in a really good match, and Punk is going to Elimination Chamber. After the match, KO came out hurt, battered, bruised, and gave Sami Zayn a package pow driver. So Sami Zayn is dead. Raw gets a fist. Over on Dynamite, this show gets a thumbs up as Grand Slam takes shape. Jay White starts to show off and he says, yo, tells Renee Paquette that when dealing with the Death Riders, you kind of have to have strange bedfellows, and that you're end up teaming with people that you don't usually team up with because, well, Juice is out and the Guns are back for a different reason, but we'll be seeing the Big Man Gang team back together again. The Death Riders will show up and arrive, but Cope and FTR back up Jay White, and they all brawl to the ring. It's just going down. People getting beat up left and right. Claudio gets Mox away, and Cope wants an answer, but White challenges them to a tag match at Grand Slam. I'm pretty sure the Mariah Tony Storm match will be the main event for Grand Slam. Buddy Matthews tells Okada that he is still a bitch for ducking him, and he's going to take that championship away from him. The newest family member of the Don Callis family is Mark Davis, as Don Callis has his contract. So he puts him in a match against Will Ospreay. Ospreay wins that match, and he says he's got a friend in Omega, and tells Davis that it isn't hopeless and there are always ways out of the situation. The Hurt Syndicate come out. They say that private was after Okada and them, or Ospreay and them. They say that the private party has a bright future, but they just ran into the wrong people at the wrong time. And then the Guns come up and they challenge the Hurt Syndicate for the tag team titles, and looks like we're going to keep the Hurt Syndicate as heels for now. The Hurt Syndicate accept and call them, the Guns, the Ass Boys, but Ass Boys finally accept that name. Mercedes Moné continues to deny Harley Cameron. Harley's getting over as per usual, especially now she's got the Mercedes Moné puppet and singing. But on Collision, we will have halftime with Harley in Houston. Hangman says it was a moment of weakness looking for Swerve. He doesn't regret retiring Christopher Daniels, and Max Caster butts in and Hangman goes after him. Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher defeated the Hounds of Hell. Good match, but this match didn't need to happen because both teams really couldn't afford a loss here. Joe and Hook go looking for Christian, but instead find Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne, and they end up getting their asses beat. Sabian and Wayne Christian then escapes through another door he was hiding. Max Caster and Hangman briefly interrupt MJF before Rose gives MJF the 1-2, talking about, yo, doing what you're doing, wasting all your talent is just not good. And MJF brings up Cody's name before a brawl breaks out in the fight next week. Toni Storm, who was acting as Mariah May, and Tony broke the internet last week, defeated Queen Abinata. Mariah May was on commentary and leaves after the match before briefly confronting Toni Storm. Jericho puts a bounty on Bandito. The Outrunners even the odds after Hobbs came after Big Bill. So that's going on, and then Bill and Hobbs fight off security at the ring, and then Hobbs ends up tackling Big Bill through a table. And in the main event, in a fantastic match, Ricochet beat Swerve Strickland. This was just absolutely awesome. So funny how Swerve just makes these mortal enemies, and he's bringing it all on himself. Over Impact, the road to sacrifice begins. This show gets a fist. Jake Something accepts Joe Hendry's title match offer, so that match will be happening in the near future. Ace Austin defeated Tyson DuPont. Tessa Blanchard declines to be in the Knockouts Battle Royal because, well, at the end of the day, everybody's going to be coming for her anyway. Tessa's not the champion, folks. Savannah Evans ends up winning the Battle Royal to become the #1 contender. Eric Young takes over the Northern Army. Macklin is in with him, and Josh Alexander gets his final, which would be a match against Eric Young. Sami Callahan's looking for Mance Warner and blows off Kazarian. The Hardys and Leon Slater defeated the System. Mustafa Ali breaks up an argument between the Good Hands and gives Tasha Steelz a pep talk. Mike Santana defeated Matt Cardona. And in the main event, Fraxiom defended the NXT Tag Team Championship against Nick and Ryan. Nemeth and Fraxiom retained. So this was a fine show. I much really got more from the knockouts. And I can't keep seeing NXT talent defeating TNA talent. It's not sitting right with me. Over on SmackDown, we're moving towards the Elimination Chamber. This show gets a fist. Jay calls out Cody, wants to face him, but also says he has some unfinished business with Gunther. Cody says, listen, we can party it up. I'm ready to fight you, but you will lose. And we can worry about tomorrow. Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga want to bring the titles back to their family, and they end up having a brawl, which will set up a tag team main event. Bianca Belair defeated Piper Niven, hitting her with a KOD to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. Carmelo Hayes defeats Kira Tozawa. Katana and Kaden Carter. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter now part of the SmackDown roster. Pretty Deadly defeated DIY to earn a tag team title shot. The Miz gets into Cody ears like, yo, you're champion. This is all well and good, but when you're a champion, you don't really have time to make friends. Drew McIntyre is now on SmackDown after getting away from Adam Pearce. Jimmy Uso tells him to chill, and like, yo, bro, stop crying. You're Drew McIntyre. LA Knight comes out and says he'll beat all of them to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. Then, well, Drew McIntyre won the match. KO attacks Sami Zayn. Says he attacked Sami Zayn because he helped Roman and not him. He helped Cody and not him. He helped Roman in the Royal Rumble, and yet your supposed best friend, your brother, got no help at all. Carmelo Hayes ended up defeating Akira Tozawa. We had some funny archery shenanigans with him and Cody and Jey Uso. Charlotte Flair talks down to Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany's like, everybody's been comparing me to you, but once I beat you at WrestleMania, that comparison will be all for naught. Nia Jax and Candice LeRae comes out. Nia tells Tiffany she's getting a championship match against her next week. And Alexa Bliss defeated Candice LeRae to qualify for the Chamber. Looks like we're going to put Alexa Bliss with the Wyatts at some point. Chelsea Green has challengers coming from all sides as Meech and Bianca B-Fabric coming for the belt. Zelina Vega's coming for the belt. It's not looking good for Chelsea Green. The Street Profits want all the smoke. They're going to revenge their losses. They're going to take out everybody and get the tag team titles. MCMG, they want the smoke too. And let's look out for the Phantasms, because the tag team division on SmackDown is doing quite well. And in the main event, Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes defeated Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. Solo Sikoa returned and gave Cody the Samoan Spike. We haven't seen Solo in a minute, so we'll see where this leads. He also hasn't been talking. Over on Collision. Grand Slam is right around the corner. Mox doesn't like Copeland, and he will end him if he need be. He'll break his neck and put him out for the rest of his career. Copeland will not be getting a title shot. He will not be laying his eyes on the championship. The Undisputed Kingdom defeated Shane Taylor, Promotions, and Dan Garcia in 2.0 in a triple threat trios match. Looks like we're finally paying attention to the Trio Championships. The Death Riders attack but fail. The United Kingdom, Ultimate Kingdom, Undisputed Kingdom will get a title shot next week for those Trios Championships. FTR coming for the tag team titles and try to become 4-time tag team champions. Max Caster's keeping the Open Challenge alive, and it'll probably end up being Heyman accepting for next week. Bandito defeated Brian Keith in a fun match. They even had a standoff duel. This was really good. LFI won a squash match. Commander came out to make the saves, kind of to stop the team from getting beat up, until Hologram got his upgrade complete and he came out and made the save. Thunder Rosa crossed paths with Megan Bayne backstage. Megan Bayne just walking around looking fine and sexy herself, but not saying anything. We had halftime with Harley in Houston, and it was about, the puppet, and she was singing and dancing because she's great, and she goaded Mercedes Moné in getting that title match at Grand Slam. Okada is late for his face-to-face interview with Buddy Matthews, and he is still a bitch, according to Buddy Matthews. It's kind of hurting Okada. You can see it in his feels. Dustin Rhodes won a squash match, and he says they'll put MJF in his place next week. The Death Riders will make an example of the Ultimate Kingdom. I keep saying Ultimate Kingdom, the Undisputed Kingdom next week. Thunder Rosa defeated Penelope Ford in a solid match. It was good to see Penelope Ford on TV. Megan Bayne came out, and then her and Ford double team Thunder Rosa after the match. We have footage from Defy Wrestling over the weekend as Swerve and Ricochet got involved with each other. I love how AEW acknowledges the rest of the wrestling world. Mariah May won an exhibition match, and she takes a black robe, right, and puts it on her opponent. And then Luther comes out with a serving dish, and on that serving dish was the shoe. And as Mariah gets back in the ring, it's Toni Storm there instead of the old opponent. And she almost gives Mariah a Storm Zero on the steel steps when Mariah gets away. And in the main event, Kyle Fletcher defeated Mark Briscoe. This was a fun collision. Our matches of the week from Raw: CM Punk versus Sami Zayne. From Dynamite, the Don Callis family versus the Hounds of Hell. This was a fun match. Also from Dynamite, Ricochet beating Swerve Strickland. From Impact, Fraxiom with defending their NXT Tag Team Championships against the Nemeth in a fine matchup. From Collision, Mark Briscoe versus Kyle Fletcher. Our stars of the week. This one was tough, as it was kind of been a quiet week, but I'm going to give it to Harley Cameron for just continuously being entertaining, for continuously being a fun bundle of joy, and finally getting that title match against Mercedes Moné. But that is our show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Check out the socials: Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. Look on the screen what we got coming up, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace.